Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Expensive Coins, where we explore the most valuable, rare, and sought-after treasures in the world of currency. If you are passionate about coins or simply curious about how small pieces of metal can carry immense fortune, then you are in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because today we are diving into the world of the United States half-dollar coins from the years 1974, 1979, 1980, 1989, 1999, and 2000. At first glance, these half-dollars might appear as ordinary coins, the kind you would find tucked away in change or passed along without a second thought. But what sets them apart are the rare versions, silver-struck anomalies, and error coins that have transformed them from simple 50-cent pieces into treasures worth a fortune. These are the coins that collectors chase, the ones that become the center of bidding wars, and the ones that can change your destiny overnight if you are lucky enough to find one. First one is the 1974 half-dollar from the United States is one of those coins that has captured the imagination of collectors and fortune seekers alike. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 50-cent piece, one that could easily slip through your hands without a second thought. But hidden among these coins are rare specimens so valuable that they can change your life in a single moment. Imagine a coin worth millions of dollars lying quietly in a drawer, waiting for the right person to recognize its true value. That is the magic of the 1974 half-dollar. This coin, struck at the height of the 1970s, carries with it more than just monetary worth, it carries history. Bearing the image of President John F. Kennedy, it represents not just a leader, but also a symbol of American pride, resilience, and memory. The assassination of Kennedy in 1963 forever changed the United States, and the coin minted in his honor has become one of the most emotionally powerful designs in American numismatics. The 1974 issue in particular stands out because of its peculiar place in the market. While millions were minted, a few extraordinary variants and rare errors have turned it into a collector's dream. The most legendary stories about the 1974 half-dollar revolve around those struck on leftover silver planchets. By this time, the U.S. Mint had long abandoned silver coinage for circulation, switching to copper-nickel-clad compositions. But accidents happen, and when a rare silver blank from earlier runs found its way into the presses, the result was astonishing. These rare silver-struck 1974 half-dollars are so scarce that if you come across one, you might be holding a piece worth millions. They are the kind of numismatic miracles that only surface once in a generation. Beyond silver errors, the 1974 half-dollar also includes incredible examples of minting mistakes, coins with double dies, off-center strikes, and misaligned mint marks. These are not just oddities, they are treasures. Collectors worldwide pay unimaginable sums for these anomalies, not because they are mistakes, but because they are rare accidents of history. They represent the human and mechanical imperfections of the minting process, turning what should have been ordinary into something truly extraordinary. But rarity alone is not the only factor that makes the 1974 half-dollar so valuable. Condition is just as important. Coins preserved in uncirculated or mint-state condition, especially those graded at the highest levels, can reach astronomical prices. A flawless 1974 half-dollar gleams with a brilliance that makes it feel less like currency and more like a piece of art. Collectors fight fiercely for these pristine examples, sometimes paying sums that defy logic, driven by the desire to own perfection. The emotional power of this coin also fuels its value. Holding a 1974 half-dollar is like holding a piece of the American story. It represents an era of change, a nation still healing from tragedy, and a currency that carried both practical and symbolic weight. It is more than a coin, it is a memory, a piece of collective heritage, and when combined with rarity, it becomes priceless. In recent years, the buzz around this coin has only grown stronger. Auction houses have seen 1974 half-dollars cross their stages with price tags that leave collectors stunned. Million-dollar valuations are no longer fantasy, they are reality. Every new discovery, every fresh error found, adds another chapter to the coin's legendary status. And with each story told, more people search their collections, hoping to find their own hidden treasure. What makes this coin especially thrilling is the possibility that it could be anywhere. It could be sitting in a jar of change in someone's kitchen, tucked away in an old wallet, or resting in the back of a drawer where it has lain forgotten for decades. That's the dream, that fortune can arrive from the most unexpected place, in the most unassuming form. The 1974 half-dollar also reminds us that true wealth is often hidden in plain sight. While most people rush past coins, dismissing them as pocket change, collectors know better. They know that the smallest details, a mint mark, a slight doubling, a unique strike, can transform an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. This is why the 1974 half-dollar is more than just money. It is hope, chance, and destiny rolled into one. Every time a collector picks up a 1974 half-dollar, they feel a spark of possibility. Could this be the one? Could this be the coin that turns 50 cents into millions of dollars? That question alone is enough to keep the hunt alive, driving passion and fueling the numismatic market. And when someone does find that ultra-rare example, the excitement spreads across the community like wildfire. The truth is, coins like the 1974 half-dollar remind us that history and fortune often walk hand in hand. This coin doesn't just represent currency, it represents the idea that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be uncovered by sharp eyes and patient hands. It represents opportunity, destiny, and the thrill of discovery. For the collector, the 1974 half-dollar is more than an object of desire. It is a story waiting to be told. Each scratch, each shine, each mark tells of where it has been and what it has survived. And if that story happens to include rarity, error, or silver composition, it transforms from a story of the past into a promise for the future. As the years pass, this coin's legend will only grow. Collectors will continue to seek it, prices will climb, and the dream of finding one will keep inspiring generations. It is a modern-day treasure hunt, and the prize is nothing short of life-changing wealth. In the end, the 1974 half-dollar is not just a coin, it is a legend. It is the kind of treasure that proves fortune can come from the unlikeliest of places. It is a reminder to look closely, to value the small things, and to never underestimate the power of history disguised as pocket change. If you have one, do not let it go cheaply, for in your hands may rest the key to unimaginable fortune, a coin that could make you a billionaire overnight. Next is the 1979 half-dollar from the United States is a coin that has fascinated collectors and fortune seekers for decades. At first glance, it might seem like just another Kennedy half-dollar, a 50-cent piece that passed through countless hands in the late 20th century. But hidden within this coin is a story of rarity, error, and unimaginable value. Certain examples of this 1979 half-dollar have become so incredibly scarce that they are now worth millions in today's market. To own one is not just to hold a coin, but to hold a key that can unlock life-changing fortune overnight. The year 1979 was not remarkable in the eyes of everyday citizens, but for coin enthusiasts, it marked an important period in U.S. minting. While the nation moved steadily through economic and political shifts, the mint continued producing Kennedy half-dollars in massive numbers. Yet, within this ordinary production, rare anomalies were born, coins with errors, off-strikes, or unusual compositions that today command staggering sums. These ultra-rare examples have elevated the 1979 half-dollar from a common coin into a modern legend. One of the greatest mysteries of the 1979 half-dollar lies in the possibility of coins struck on silver planchets. By this time, the U.S. Mint had long abandoned silver for circulating half-dollars, switching fully to copper-nickel-clad composition. Yet history has shown that rare errors happen. A leftover silver blank slipping into the presses could result in a silver 1979 half-dollar, and such an error instantly makes it priceless. Collectors know that a coin like this is not just rare, it is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Even without silver, error strikes from this year can transform an ordinary coin into a treasure. Double die varieties, where the design appears slightly doubled, are among the most sought after. Off-center strikes, where part of the coin's design is missing because it was misaligned in the press, are also highly desirable. These errors are accidents that the mint never intended, yet they are the very reason collectors will pay unimaginable amounts of money for a single piece. Condition plays a critical role in the value of the 1979 half-dollar. Circulated coins may hold sentimental value, but it is the uncirculated, mint-state examples that fetch fortunes. Imagine a coin untouched by human hands, preserved with its original luster, the details of Kennedy's portrait sharp and flawless. Such a specimen, especially if paired with an error, can climb to prices most people could never believe possible. But beyond errors and conditions, what truly elevates the 1979 half-dollar is its emotional power. Bearing the image of John F. Kennedy, the coin is a permanent reminder of a president whose legacy continues to inspire. People connect to this coin not only as a piece of currency, but as a piece of history, a memorial struck in metal. That emotional attachment adds another layer of value, because it turns the half-dollar into more than just money. It becomes memory and meaning. Auction houses and collectors know the importance of this year. Stories circulate of 1979 half-dollars discovered in old boxes, coin jars, or even passed along in change, later revealed to be worth millions. These tales fuel the imagination and keep the hunt alive. Every 1979 half-dollar inspected is another chance at discovering the impossible, a fortune disguised as 50 cents. The beauty of this coin story is its accessibility. Unlike ancient coins or rare gold pieces locked away in museums, the 1979 half-dollar is modern enough that anyone might come across one. It might be sitting unnoticed in a family collection, hidden in a roll of coins, or tucked away in a dusty drawer. That possibility, that treasure could be hiding in plain sight, is what makes the pursuit of this coin so thrilling. Collectors often speak of the 1979 half-dollar as a coin of destiny. For some, it represents the chance to own a piece of American history. For others, it is a symbol of opportunity, a coin that can take someone from ordinary life to extraordinary wealth in a single stroke of luck. Its value is not just financial, it is emotional, historical, and deeply symbolic. As time passes, the legend of this coin only grows stronger. The number of rare 1979 half-dollars will never increase. It can only shrink as coins are lost, damaged, or locked away in private collections. This scarcity ensures that prices will continue to climb, making the 1979 half-dollar one of the most valuable modern coins to watch. For the serious collector, the 1979 half-dollar is not just an object of desire. It is a prize to be hunted, a mystery to be solved, and a fortune waiting to be uncovered. Its story combines everything that makes coin collecting so fascinating: history, rarity, beauty, and the thrill of discovery. What makes it even more extraordinary is how ordinary it appears. To the untrained eye, it is just another half-dollar. To the collector, it could be a life-changing discovery. That duality, the ordinary hiding the extraordinary, is the heart of this coin's magic. The 1979 half-dollar teaches us that wealth is not always obvious. It reminds us that treasures can be hidden in the smallest corners of life, disguised in everyday objects. It urges us to look closer, to pay attention, to never dismiss what seems unremarkable. For in that unremarkable 50-cent piece could lie unimaginable fortune. In the end, the 1979 half-dollar is more than a coin. It is a story of chance, a symbol of possibility, and a reminder that life-changing fortune can rest quietly in the palm of your hand. If you are fortunate enough to discover one of the ultra-rare examples, hold on to it tightly. For you may be holding the key to a future richer than you ever dreamed. Next is the 1980 half-dollar from the United States is one of those coins that hides behind a veil of normality yet carries with it a legend of unimaginable fortune. At first glance, it is nothing more than a Kennedy half-dollar, a coin minted in massive numbers for everyday use. But the truth is far more fascinating. Rare variations, minting errors, and extraordinary conditions have transformed certain examples of this coin into treasures worth millions in today's market. To own one of these ultra-rare pieces is like holding lightning in your hand. It has the power to change your destiny overnight. When collectors talk about the magic of the 1980 half-dollar, they often start with its place in U.S. coinage history. By this year, the Kennedy half-dollar had already been in circulation for more than 15 years. Most people saw it simply as a symbol of President John F. Kennedy's legacy, yet very few considered that within these ordinary-looking coins, some would be struck so uniquely that their value would skyrocket decades later. The minting process, although carefully controlled, is never without mistakes, and it is in those mistakes that fortunes are born. One of the rarest and most sought-after varieties of the 1980 half-dollar comes from errors that occurred during production. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center, its design shifted just enough to reveal the blank metal edge on one side. Or picture a double strike, where the presses hit the coin twice, leaving behind overlapping images of Kennedy's profile. These accidents, though unintentional, are what make a coin extraordinary. Collectors hunt them relentlessly because no two error coins are exactly the same. Each one is unique, a once-in-history occurrence. There are also whispers among collectors about 1980 half-dollars struck on silver planchets. By this year, silver was no longer intended for circulation coins, as copper-nickel clad had fully taken over. But mistakes happen. A leftover silver blank from earlier minting years could have found its way into the presses, producing a 1980 half-dollar in silver. Such a discovery would be beyond price. It would not just be rare, it would be a miracle of minting, worth millions on the open market. Even without silver, the condition of a 1980 half-dollar can be enough to make it priceless. A coin that has survived untouched for more than 40 years, gleaming with its original mint luster, becomes a collector's dream. In pristine, uncirculated states, these coins are graded at the highest levels, and when combined with rare errors or unique varieties, they can bring jaw-dropping sums at auctions. The difference between a 50-cent coin and a $1,000,000 coin can be as simple as how well it has been preserved. What makes the 1980 half-dollar truly special, however, is not just its errors or condition but its symbolism. With the bold image of John F. Kennedy on its obverse, this coin serves as a tribute to one of America's most beloved presidents. Every time a collector holds it, they are reminded of Kennedy's charisma, leadership, and tragic end. That emotional connection elevates its value far beyond its metal composition. For many, owning this coin is like owning a piece of American history. Auction stories only add to the legend of the 1980 half-dollar. There are tales of unsuspecting people who discovered one in old collections, coin rolls, or dusty boxes and later sold them for life-changing sums. These stories fuel the dream that even today, someone could stumble upon a coin that others overlooked, only to realize they are holding a key to unimaginable wealth. Such moments transform everyday collectors into overnight millionaires. The thrill of hunting for the 1980 half-dollar lies in its accessibility. Unlike coins locked away in museums or ancient treasures buried deep underground, the 1980 half-dollar is still modern enough to appear in circulation from time to time. That possibility, that a simple trip to the bank, a forgotten coin jar, or a pocket of change might hide a multimillion-dollar coin, is what keeps collectors searching tirelessly. For many enthusiasts, the 1980 half-dollar is more than money. It is a symbol of hope and opportunity. It proves that greatness can hide in plain sight, that treasures don't always announce themselves with gold or jewels but can be disguised in something as ordinary as a 50-cent piece. The true magic lies in the discovery, in being the one who spots what others miss. Over the decades, the reputation of this coin has only grown. Each rare example found only increases the hunger to find more. The fact that the number of surviving rare varieties will never increase, only decrease as time passes, means their value is locked in a perpetual climb. For the collector lucky enough to own one, the coin is not just an object, it is a legacy, a secure treasure for future generations. The emotional weight of this coin cannot be underestimated. It carries the story of a nation, the image of a fallen leader, and the thrill of rare fortune. To hold a 1980 half-dollar with rare qualities is to hold a piece of time itself, frozen in metal, waiting for someone to recognize its significance. And that is what makes this coin so extraordinary. It blurs the line between ordinary and extraordinary, between pocket change and priceless treasure. It reminds us all that the world is full of hidden riches, waiting for the eyes that can see them. The 1980 half-dollar from the United States is, therefore, more than just a coin. It is a chance at fortune, a story of history, and a mystery of minting. It has the power to make someone a billionaire overnight, not just because of its rarity but because of the dream it carries within it. If you are ever lucky enough to find one, don't make the mistake of letting it go cheaply, for within that half-dollar may lie the power to transform your future forever. Next is the 1989 half-dollar from the United States is a coin that on the surface seems like an ordinary piece of change, yet hidden among its countless examples are rare varieties and minting anomalies that elevate it into the realm of legendary treasures. This coin has the ability to turn its owner into a millionaire overnight, for the right specimen is worth more than gold, more than diamonds, and more than any ordinary collector could imagine. It carries within it the power to change fortune, the spark that makes coin collecting so thrilling, and the mystery that keeps people searching even decades later. When we talk about the 1989 half-dollar, we are entering the world of the Kennedy series, a coin created to honor one of America's most iconic leaders. By 1989, the coin had already become a cultural and historical symbol, but very few suspected that hidden in that year's minting runs would be coins that defy all logic in their value. The Kennedy half-dollar was struck in massive numbers for circulation, yet certain examples slipped through the cracks of normality and became masterpieces of rarity. The first thing that makes this coin so desirable to collectors is the possibility of rare minting errors. Errors are accidents of the mint, but in the world of numismatics, they are miracles. Imagine a 1989 half-dollar struck slightly off-center, or one with Kennedy's profile doubled in a ghostly shadow. Such coins are one of a kind, making them priceless to collectors who crave uniqueness. The right error coin is like lightning in a bottle, unpredictable, rare, and breathtaking in its value. Even more fascinating are the whispered tales of 1989 half-dollars struck on the wrong planchet. By this year, all circulation coins were clad copper-nickel, but mistakes happen. A leftover silver blank could have found its way into the presses. If a genuine 1989 half-dollar exists in silver, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, worth millions to the right buyer. Such stories make collectors dream, and those dreams drive the endless hunt for treasure. Condition also plays an extraordinary role in the 1989 half-dollar's journey to greatness. While millions were minted, most were spent, scratched, and worn by time. But a coin that has never seen circulation, a coin kept in perfect mint state, shines with a luster that collectors cannot resist. When combined with a rare error or unique variety, its value leaps into the stratosphere. These pristine survivors are more than coins. They are relics of history untouched by the passage of time. Beyond rarity, the 1989 half-dollar carries immense emotional weight. With President Kennedy's image boldly struck on its obverse, it stands as a tribute to a man whose influence still echoes across generations. Every collector who holds it feels the legacy of Kennedy, the hope, the tragedy, the enduring inspiration. This connection to American history magnifies the coin's value, making it not only a financial investment but also a piece of national identity. There are countless stories of ordinary people stumbling upon these coins without realizing their worth. A coin jar, a forgotten roll from the bank, or a collection passed down through family hands has suddenly produced examples of this coin that sold for fortunes. These stories feed the legend of the 1989 half-dollar and inspire collectors to keep looking. The thought that unimaginable wealth could be hiding in a simple 50-cent piece is intoxicating. Auctions have revealed the appetite for such rarities. When a unique example of the 1989 half-dollar surfaces, especially one with dramatic errors or flawless condition, bidding wars erupt. Collectors from across the globe compete fiercely, pushing prices into the millions. For them, the coin is not just metal but prestige, history, and legacy all wrapped into one. The beauty of this coin lies in its accessibility. Unlike ancient treasures buried for centuries, the 1989 half-dollar is still recent enough to show up in unexpected places. That possibility, that you or I could stumble upon one tomorrow, keeps the dream alive. It's this accessibility combined with unimaginable value that makes it one of the most exciting coins to pursue. To hold this coin is to hold power in your hands. Power to secure your financial future, power to own a piece of history, and power to join the exclusive world of collectors who understand its true worth. The coin may have started as everyday change, but today it is a key that unlocks extraordinary fortune. What separates the 1989 half-dollar from ordinary coins is the narrative it carries. It is not just a half-dollar, it is a hidden jewel waiting to be recognized. It whispers of possibility, of hope, of the idea that fortune hides where least expected. It teaches us that life-changing opportunities sometimes sit quietly in our hands, overlooked until we open our eyes to see them. In the end, the 1989 United States half-dollar is far more than 50 cents of metal. It is a legend in disguise, a treasure waiting to be uncovered, and a symbol of how fortune can arrive in the most unexpected form. To find one is to touch destiny, for this coin has the power to transform not just your collection but your entire life. The next time you see a 1989 half-dollar, don't dismiss it as ordinary change. Look closely, hold it carefully, and remember this. Within that small circle of metal may lie a fortune beyond imagination, a coin worth millions, and perhaps the power to change your life forever. The 1999 half-dollar from the United States may appear at first glance like just another coin struck for circulation, but within its surface lies a mystery that has made it one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins ever produced. This coin has the potential to change the life of its finder overnight, for the right example could fetch millions of dollars in today's market. Imagine holding something worth only 50 cents in value, but in truth it is a treasure of unimaginable worth. That is the magic of the 1999 half-dollar. At the heart of this coin is the Kennedy half-dollar design, a piece of American coinage introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. By 1999, this coin had already become legendary among collectors, and every issue carried both symbolic and historical weight. But the 1999 issue, though minted in large numbers, hides special varieties, minting errors, and pristine conditions that transform some examples from ordinary change into life-changing fortunes. One of the greatest allures of the 1999 half-dollar lies in its minting anomalies. Collectors dream of errors like off-center strikes, double die obverse, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Such rare mistakes elevate a single coin from ordinary to priceless. Imagine a 1999 half-dollar struck with a misaligned design, where Kennedy's face appears doubled in a ghost-like shadow. Such a piece is not just rare, it is unique, and uniqueness is what drives collectors to spend millions. There are also whispers of 1999 half-dollars struck on leftover silver planchets, a mistake that should not have occurred decades after silver was phased out for general circulation. If a genuine silver 1999 half-dollar exists, its value would be beyond comprehension, easily placing it among the most expensive coins ever sold. For collectors, even the possibility of such a discovery is enough to ignite feverish excitement. Condition is another key to the unimaginable value of this coin. The vast majority of 1999 half-dollars were circulated, passed through hands, pockets, and cash registers until they became worn and common. But a coin preserved in perfect mint state, its surface untouched and its luster shining as if it had just left the presses, tells a completely different story. When combined with rarity or an error, such perfection can drive the value to levels that make headlines. What makes the 1999 half-dollar so extraordinary is not just its rarity or condition, but its symbolism. It carries the image of President Kennedy, a leader who continues to inspire generations. To hold this coin is to hold a reminder of his vision, his tragedy, and his enduring legacy. This emotional connection adds weight to its financial worth, making it more than a collectible. It is a piece of America's soul. Collectors around the globe chase this coin with passion. Stories circulate of lucky individuals discovering a rare 1999 half-dollar in a coin roll, in a forgotten bank bag, or in a collection passed down by family. One moment it's seen as ordinary pocket change, the next it's recognized as a multi-million-dollar treasure. These stories fuel the dream that fortune could be waiting in anyone's possession. The auction world has already shown how powerful this coin can be. Unique examples of the 1999 half-dollar have sparked bidding wars where collectors with deep pockets battle for ownership. To them, it's not just about owning a coin, but about holding something irreplaceable, something no one else in the world can claim. That competition drives the price into unimaginable territory. But beyond wealth, the 1999 half-dollar teaches a deeper lesson. It shows us that treasures often hide in plain sight, overlooked because we fail to see their true potential. A coin dismissed as pocket change could be a fortune disguised in metal, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. For those who dream of fortune, this coin represents possibility. It is proof that miracles exist in the world of collecting. Every roll of coins, every forgotten jar, every estate sale could hold one of these treasures, and the discovery of just one could secure wealth for generations. The power of the 1999 half-dollar is not just in its rarity but in the hope it inspires. Collectors keep searching, everyday people keep checking their change, and the legend of the coin continues to grow. It has become more than a coin, it is a symbol of how destiny can turn with a single discovery. Imagine the feeling of holding such a coin in your hand, realizing that within its worn surface lies the power to transform your life. That rush, that revelation, is what makes the 1999 half-dollar so captivating. It is not just a collector's item, it is a key to fortune, a bridge between history and destiny. In the end, the 1999 United States half-dollar stands as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare treasures in modern coinage. Whether found through luck, inherited through family, or acquired at great cost, it represents the meeting point of history, rarity, and unimaginable wealth. Its story proves that greatness can be hidden in the simplest of places. So, the next time you see a half-dollar dated 1999, don't treat it as mere change. Examine it closely, preserve it carefully, and remember, within that coin could lie the power to make you a billionaire overnight, a fortune born from 50 cents of metal. The 2000 half-dollar from the United States is more than just a piece of metal struck for everyday use. It is a silent treasure, a hidden key that has the power to unlock fortunes for those fortunate enough to uncover its secrets. At first glance, it may seem like any ordinary Kennedy half-dollar, but those who truly understand coins know that this piece carries stories of rarity, mystery, and unimaginable value. In today's collecting market, certain examples of the 2000 half-dollar have been whispered about as being worth millions of dollars, the kind of discovery that could turn an ordinary person into a billionaire overnight. What makes this coin so extraordinary begins with its legacy. The Kennedy half-dollar has always been a coin of significance, created in 1964 to honor the fallen President John F. Kennedy. By the year 2000, it had already stood for decades as a national icon, but this particular issue introduced unexpected varieties, errors, and conditions that catapulted it into the realm of legendary coins. While millions were struck, only a select few carry the qualities that make them unimaginably valuable. Errors are the beating heart of its rarity. In numismatics, errors are not flaws, they are miracles. A 2000 half-dollar struck off-center, showing Kennedy's face shifted dramatically, becomes an art piece worth fortunes. A double-die error, where details are duplicated in ghost-like perfection, transforms a 50-cent piece into a collector's dream. There are even tales of wrong planchet strikes, where a half-dollar design was mistakenly struck on a smaller blank, creating a coin so rare it would cause collectors to bid millions for the chance to own it. Another factor fueling the legend of the 2000 half-dollar is its condition. Most coins from this year were released into circulation, exchanged thousands of times, worn down, and scarred by use. But a coin preserved in gem mint state, untouched and flawless, shines like a diamond among stones. Pair that condition with a rare error, and suddenly you are holding a piece that could sell for the price of a mansion, or more. The 2000 half-dollar also sits at a symbolic crossroads in American history. It was struck at the dawn of a new millennium, a year that carried hope, uncertainty, and the sense of entering a new era. This gives the coin an added dimension of meaning. It is not only a currency, but also a marker of time, a symbol of America stepping into the 21st century. That symbolism magnifies its value, making it irresistible to collectors who crave more than just metal. Stories abound of lucky finds. Someone searching through a roll of half-dollars at the bank stumbles across a 2000 piece with a dramatic error. Another collector inherits a coin from a relative, only to discover it is a flawless gem worth millions. These tales inspire hope that the next great discovery could happen to anyone, anywhere, and that destiny could be hiding in something as ordinary as pocket change. The auction floor has seen the fever that these coins inspire. When a rare 2000 half-dollar appears, collectors compete with intensity, driving prices higher and higher. The atmosphere becomes electric as the bidding climbs into unimaginable territory, each participant desperate to secure a piece of history and fortune. These moments prove the incredible power a single coin can hold. But what makes the 2000 half-dollar truly special is not just its financial potential, it is the story it tells. This coin represents a blending of chance, history, and destiny. It whispers that greatness can hide in plain sight, that a forgotten roll of coins in a drawer might conceal wealth beyond dreams. It embodies the thrilling possibility that fortune is closer than we think. To hold one of these rare 2000 half-dollars is to hold more than currency. It is to hold a piece of the American story, a reminder of a leader who inspired a nation, and a treasure capable of rewriting your future. It is both history and opportunity in the palm of your hand. Collectors who understand its value guard these coins with reverence, knowing that their rarity makes them priceless. For those still searching, the hunt continues, fueled by the dream that one day they will be the lucky individual to discover one. That is the true magic of the 2000 half-dollar. It is more than metal, it is a dream waiting to be realized. Every detail of the coin matters. The shine of the luster, the clarity of Kennedy's portrait, the alignment of the strike, all of these can make the difference between an ordinary coin and a life-changing treasure. Each one is a potential miracle waiting to be recognized by the right set of eyes. The 2000 United States half-dollar stands today as one of the most valuable and ultra-rare coins in existence. It proves that the extraordinary can hide among the ordinary, that treasure does not always glitter like gold but sometimes appears in the most familiar of forms. For collectors and dreamers alike, this coin represents possibility itself. So, the next time you see a half-dollar dated 2000, do not dismiss it. Examine it closely, hold it carefully, and remember this. You may be holding a coin worth millions, a piece of history that carries the power to transform your fortune overnight. In that small circle of metal could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth, a legacy waiting to be discovered, and a future brighter than you ever dared to dream.